full story. On a night when the breeze blew gently, carrying the scent of jasmine, and raindrops fell softly on the window, a long time ago, in the glorious era of the Angkorian Empire, there was a village nestled next to a large forest, with a small, ruined temple at its edge. In that village lived a girl named Neary, whose eyes were as gentle as the full moon. She loved painting on the temple walls. Every day, she would go there with natural dyes she mixed herself to paint flowers, plants, and various wild animals she had seen in the forest. Neary had never been taught how to paint by anyone, yet her artwork was truly vibrant and beautiful. The villagers would often come to admire her paintings, praising her with endless compliments. One day, she saw an old painting on a corner of the temple wall that was almost completely faded. It was a painting of a girl performing an Apsara dance. She felt as though something was drawing her closer to it. Neary began to carefully restore the painting. Every time she painted, she felt as if someone was beside her, like a soft, sweet whisper that made her feel warm. She didn't know who it was. She simply thought it was her own imagination. Another day, while she was painting, she saw a man sitting and watching her from a distance. The man was a sculptor named Sofal. He had a handsome face and a charming smile. Sofal walked closer to her and said in a gentle voice, "I have never seen anyone paint as beautifully as you do." Neary felt a little shy and replied, "I just wanted to help this painting come back to life." Sofal told her that the painting she was restoring was the work of his mother, a famous Apsara dancer who had passed away mysteriously. He said his mother always told him that the painting was of her. From that day on, Neary and Sofal became friends, and their love blossomed just like the restored painting. As the love between them grew, the burdens of life intervened. One day, Sofal received news from the royal palace that he had to serve there to carve statues and temples for the empire's glory. He had to leave far away, which meant he could no longer meet Neary. Sofal went to meet her at the temple and said with a heavy heart, "I have to go, Neary. I don't know when I will be able to return." Neary cried, but she said with a strong face, "It's all right, Sofal. I will wait for you. Even if we are far apart, our love will remain as steadfast as this painting." She showed him the Apsara painting she had restored. The painting looked as if it had come back to life. Before he left, Sofal gave her a bracelet with a lotus flower carved on it and said, "This bracelet is something I carved with my own hands. It is a witness to our love. When you miss me, you can look at it." Sofal left, and Neary continued to restore the painting with love and hope. She added a lotus flower next to the Apsara dancer to remember Sofal. Whenever she felt lonely, she would look at the bracelet on her hand and think of him. Several years passed. Neary still went to the same temple. Her Apsara painting was completely restored and looked more beautiful than ever. The lotus flower she had painted still stood out. She always thought of Sofal, but there was no news from him. Many in the village thought that Sofal had probably forgotten her, but Neary still believed in his promise. Another night arrived. Neary sat on the temple wall and looked at the moon. She touched the lotus flower painting with affection, and she heard a whisper in the breeze, "I will return." Suddenly, she heard the sound of a horse's hooves approaching. She turned around and saw a man who looked a little bigger than before, but still had the same smile. It was Sofal. Sofal got off his horse and ran to hug Neary tightly. He cried with joy and said, "I'm sorry for making you wait so long. I've returned and I will knit."